Straight ahead on CCX News, residents in New Hope talk trash. The city meeting this week that led to plenty of feedback. Plus, back to school for school administrators, what they see as a top issue this school year. But first, a new team in Maple Grove. Why Maple Grove Police will soon have its very own K-9 unit. CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. The Maple Grove Police Department is getting some extra reinforcement in their efforts to fight crime. Reporter Sonia Goins joins us now with more details. Sonia?
Now, Alex, for the first time in 20 years, the department is getting a police K-9 unit. I spoke with Police Chief Eric Werner. He says the unit will be an asset when it comes to tracking down bad guys and narcotics.
Having a K-9 unit around provides the service we want, but we also have that extra partner that we like to have, and it's an animal, and they bring a lot to our lives, but they also bring a lot to our business and how we provide that service.
For implementation of a police K-9 unit.
Now, the city approved the K-9 unit during Monday night city council meeting. It would cost about $78,000 for one K-9 handler, one K-9, training, and a special squad vehicle to haul around the dog. Currently, Maple Grove relies on nearby agencies when they need a K-9. Chief Werner says the department would be more efficient if it had its own.
So we did a study and we saw the increase in the need based on the calls. So for example, in 2014 and 2015, in each year we used a K-9 70 times, and we were able to provide that resource by relying on our partners.
Now, the chief says the department can't always count on other agencies to help them when they need a K-9 officer. He says as a result, they're only handling a fraction of calls that require K-9 assistance. The cost for the K-9 unit will be initially paid for by the alcohol compliance fine account and later reimbursed by fundraising. And Alice, the K-9 unit will be on board starting March 2018.
All right, thanks a lot, Sonia. A memorial service will take place Thursday for a Maple Grove High School student killed in a car crash. 15-year-old Cecilia Wold died Thursday from injuries sustained in the crash on Highway 55 in Plymouth. Cecilia's 86-year-old grandfather, Lee Wold, also died in that crash. Both were passengers in a vehicle that was turning left from westbound Highway 55 at Northwest Boulevard when it collided with another car traveling east on Highway 55. The Wold family tells us Cecilia will give others new life as an organ donor. It's a conversation their family had long ago. The obituary notes Cecilia had a passion for music and played piano, saxophone, guitar, and percussion. She was also a member of the Osseo School District's Grove Area Percussion Drumline Group. The group's director says she, quote, always had a smile on her face and she embodied the spirit of music. The memorial service for Cecilia Wold will be held Thursday at 11 a.m. at House of Hope Lutheran Church in New Hope. In other news, a Maple Grove assisted living facility is found liable after an 89-year-old woman in a wheelchair fell to her death due to a faulty door lock. A Minnesota Department of Health investigation found that Wildflower Lodge failed to fix the door that led to a stairway. According to the investigation, the door went unfixed for at least 3 years, even though signs on the door alerted staff that it wouldn't lock properly. In January, 89-year-old Eula Peoples died after opening the door and tumbling down a stairwell. Wildflower Lodge is run by a for-profit company that's based in Dallas. In New Hope, the city is trying to figure out the best way to pick up garbage. As Eric Nelson found out, there are many options and opinions about the best way to do this.
I've gotten about 300 phone calls or emails, and most of them, quite frankly, are not in favor. There's some good points to this and there's some bad.
In New Hope, one man's trash can be another man's displeasure.
Some people feel very strongly that it's not the government's position to choose their garbage hauler.
At Monday night city council meeting, residents got the chance to talk trash. Should New Hope keep its open garbage collection system?
It's more about my freedom to control the one thing that's left for me.
Or should the city switch to organized trash pickup?
The big trucks aren't real easy on the streets, but there's a lot of people who want a choice, and they don't care that it's hard on the streets.
For some residents, this is personal. They don't want the city dictating what they can and can't do with their garbage cans.
The free market should reign. I don't know that I care what my neighbor is paying if I'm satisfied with what I'm paying. The bottom line for me is I don't want the government controlling the economy.
These trash haulers are family-owned businesses. They live and they work in our community. They are part of the free market system. They deserve to be part of the free market system.
There are currently 7 companies who pick up garbage in the city. Collection days can be chaotic, with trucks everywhere.
I am avoiding these trucks as they go up and down my street, not just once, twice, or even 3 times during that same day.
City officials believe this takes a toll on streets, causing excessive wear and tear.
They favor fewer garbage trucks on city streets, less noise. Some are worried about emissions, smells, things like that.
By running down to just 3 trucks, our streets will last longer, our sewers, our water lines, our gas lines, which means lower taxes in the long run for all of us.
One thing is clear. Trash is a hot-button topic in New Hope, and there is no clear consensus on what should happen. I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
And New Hope has also sent out a survey to residents asking their opinions on the trash topic. In September, the City Council will decide what they're going to do. In less than a month, students will be back in the classroom for another year, but the reality is that 13% of those Minnesota students are living in poverty.
They walk into that classroom with the weight of the world on their shoulders. And then it falls to you in our school districts to figure out how to give them a great start. And we wonder why these kids don't always do as well on standardized tests.
Lieutenant Governor Tina Smith spoke to some of the challenges facing our local schools as she addressed the state's superintendents gathered in Brooklyn Park for the annual Back to School Conference. Despite challenges closing the achievement gap, the Lieutenant Governor says Minnesota graduation rates are up for all demographic groups since 2011. Osseo Superintendent Kate McGuire says most of the staff is hired in her district and ready for another year.
Our goal is that all students, as you know, are achieving at high levels and that we're accelerating growth for those students who are not yet meeting our highest expectations in order to close gaps that are predictable by race on most metrics.
The Osseo School District and many others start classes on September 5th. Brooklyn Park could be getting its very first tap room. Blue Wolf Brewing, which used to be located in Champlin, is considering a location next to Broadway Pizza. No food would be served at the tap room, but the brewery owners would allow people to bring in their own food or make an order from a nearby restaurant. The Brooklyn Park Planning Commission will review the proposal this week. And there's a new addition in Brooklyn Center to help serve an aging population. The Maranatha campus is celebrating the addition of new independent senior living apartments. It's the final addition to the Maranatha campus. Administrators say it is an important one.
This will be part of a larger community here at Maranatha. We've got our care center, we have assisted living apartments, and so the final dimension will be to add these independent living apartments that will provide yet another opportunity for the people from the community of Brooklyn Center and for our residents here at Maranatha.
The Maranatha campus features a beauty and barber shop, a library, and a wellness center. Still ahead on CCX News, something on the back to school to-do list that shouldn't be neglected. We'll look at the importance of physicals. That's next in Health Check. Plus, fall high school sports practices begin next week. Here's what you need to know to get signed up. But first, it clouds up on Wednesday with a chance for showers late in the day. We'll be right back. The start of the new school year is only weeks away, which means that parents are busy heading to the stores to pick up back-to-school supplies. But health experts say another place parents should take their kids is to the doctor's office for an annual physical. As Delane Cleveland reports in today's Health Check, doctors say not enough parents are getting that message.
With just a few weeks to go before the start of the school year, this 16-year-old stopped into the HCMC clinic in Golden Valley to get his physical. The doctor is paying special attention to his heart.
It's really important to have a heart exam done during that time frame. A lot of murmurs start developing up in the adolescent years, and potential heart problems can be found that way.
Doctors can also find a host of other problems during a physical exam and help prevent future problems from occurring.
The main reason to have physical exam is to find if there's any growth problems, make sure the vaccines are up to date, making sure that there's no disease process problems that are going on.
Despite the benefits of a physical, Dr. Brian Nelson says getting school-aged children in can be an issue around Minnesota.
Approximately 40 to 50% of kids are getting their normal physical exams.
Is that low?
I would say that is fairly low. And because of that, we are seeing a delay in terms of vaccinations.
The State Department of Health has a long list of immunizations children are supposed to receive by the time they reach a certain age. But just because they're listed doesn't mean everyone is getting them, as was the case with the recent measles outbreak.
But what I have seen lately is not so much measles, but individuals who are refusing the tetanus, diphtheria, pertussis vaccine. I've seen 2 or 3 cases of pertussis every year for the past 2 or 3 years.
So as the new school year approaches, the advice, according to Dr. Nelson, is for anyone between the ages of 5 and 20 to come in every 1 to 2 years. Most of the patients here in Golden Valley have gotten that message.
I happen to be seeing a population that I think is really aggressive at making sure that they have physical exams approximately every 1 to 2 years.
In Golden Valley, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
And one other note for parents, it's important to wait an entire year before scheduling another physical exam for your child. If a child has a physical before that 1 year has passed, it may not be covered by insurance. Still ahead, a perfect way to celebrate International Cat Day. But first, pro boxer and Osseo native Caleb Truax is set to return to the ring. John Jacobson is in next with sports.
John Jacobson with sports. Pro boxer Caleb Truax will be back in the ring later this month. Truax is eager to fight again after having a couple of fights postponed and canceled over the last year. Truax has a professional record of 27, 3-2, and has been a prize fighter for more than 10 years now. He's always done well fighting locally, but in 2015 and 16, Truax stepped into class, and he suffered 2 hard knockout losses. His losses didn't discourage the Osseo native. In fact, he says he's learned from those defeats. Truax still deeply believes in his ability as a fighter that's kept him in the game.
I still love it. I mean, I told myself, I'm 33 going on 34, I told myself I didn't want to be in it much more than past 35 or 36, and I still have a lot to bring to the table. I feel I do anyways, and I just want to keep on going and try to get one more world title shot and try to make a little bit of money and then kind of coast off into the into the next career. But no, I still have a lot to offer, I feel, and I still think that I haven't shown my best, and I just want to get back in there and on the world stage and put on another great performance.
Truax's upcoming fight is on August 25th at Grand Casino in Hinckley. His opponent is Keandre Leatherwood. The Alabama fighter has a record of 20 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. Well, fall high school practices begin next Monday for most sports. Activities offices are busy making sure that kids are getting signed up for those fall sports. Park Center Activities Administrative Assistant Keely Sorensen is processing fall sports registrations. She says about 90% of Pirate athletes sign up online. Biggest thing to take care of ahead of time, making sure you're medically cleared to play.
The biggest thing first would be to getting that physical done and on file and making sure it's been on file within the last 3 years. With our system in FeePay, you can't register for any sport until that physical is in the system first. So that's kind of the biggest thing, because I know that getting an appointment can sometimes be hard.
Well, most of the sign-up process goes smoothly online. It's still a good idea to sign up sooner rather than later to avoid any last-minute problems that will keep an athlete on the sidelines at the start of practice. Registration lists are growing at Park Center.
I've been pretty pleased so far with some of our bigger sports like football and boys soccer. Kids are coming in the office every day asking about any fines they have, what they need to do to get signed up. The numbers keep going up every day, so that's been exciting because those are our two largest groups. And the other sports as well, there's people signing up. So I know we'll have some last minuters, we always do, but so far some of them are getting the message to get in here now and get it done.
And contact the activities office at your school with any questions on getting signed up. Well, hockey, of course, is very popular here in Minnesota, but it's an expensive sport. A local association is giving kids a chance to give the sport a try without any cost. The Osseo Maple Grove Hockey Association is hosting a Try Hockey for Free night next Tuesday at Maple Grove Community Center. It's for players ages 4 and up who haven't played or tried hockey before. Skate rental is free, and first-year players will be offered free registration for the coming winter, along with vouchers for $100 for equipment at Letterman Sports. Wild mascot Nordy and Goldie Gopher will be on hand to skate with the kids, and they'll take pictures from 5:15 to 6:15 next Tuesday, August 15th. And one of the newest Olympic sports, Rugby Sevens, with 7 players on the field for each team at a time, holds its national championships in Blaine this weekend. Rugby Sevens made its Olympic Games debut last summer in Rio. Teams from Minneapolis and across the country will compete. Tickets are $23 for all weekend or $15 per day. That's it for sports today. Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Up next, the truth about cats and dogs. Something to think about on this International Cat Day when we come back. Welcome back. If you have a good eye for photos and you live, work, or attend school in Plymouth, there is a contest for you to consider. The call is out for the Picture Plymouth Photo Contest. These are winning entries from last year's competition put on by the City of Plymouth and Plymouth Magazine. Photos must be taken in Plymouth between September 1st of 2016 through August 31st of this year. The deadline for submission is August 31st via the Plymouth Magazine website, and categories include people and families, community activities and events, pets, wildlife and nature, and city landmarks. The grand prize winner receives $100, but top picks in other categories receive $50. And finally, if you have been on social media, you know that it is International Cat Day, and here's a perfect way to celebrate. The day was started to raise awareness about cats in need, and the Animal Humane Society in Golden Valley has these cuddly creatures that are ready for adoption. More than 30% of American households have cats as pets. That's just a little less than homes that have dogs. However, more cats are owned than dogs, since it is easier to have more than one cat. That is all the news for us. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you back here again tomorrow starting at 4 o'clock.